really creepy, and I don't want typical banjo stuff. I just want it really creepy sounding.
Right.
Something like Deliverance. And so he's like, all right, cool. I can handle it. So I sent it to him. So I gave him about a week to mess around on it, and I told him, I said, okay, he knew the day we were going to the studio. I said, we've got like an hour set aside for this banjo piece, and so I need to know, what you've come up with. And he's kind of fighting me on it, and I go, well, just, he goes, I don't know how to play it to you. I go, well, play the song I sent you in the background, on something, and then play your part over the top of it, and record it with your phone, and just, send it to me. Just so he says, all right, so he does. He sends me this thing, and it's fucking like ragtime banjo, like something you hear.
Not quite what you're looking
it's
for.
Like something you hear on a riverboat,
And he sent it to me, and I went, man, because I wasn't sure whether you liked it or not, but I was like, and you're like, I don't know, and I was like, no, this is horrible.
Yeah, no, it was like riverboat.
It was.
I told him, I said, that's not really what I was
much.
looking for, and he goes, well, what are you thinking? And I said, well, like I said, something dark and creepy. I said, I was messing around with the banjo a little bit, and so I started playing him stuff, and I sent it to him. And I'm not a banjo player, I'm just,
right.
But he was trying.
Right.
So I came up with the idea, and I said, it's along this lines, but I'd like a real banjo player playing it. And so he listens to it, and he goes, well, as far as I'm concerned, you've got the gig, and you should just do it yourself, and I'm out. And I went,
wow.
So he follows to the studio, and he's like, what does this sound like? I was like, that's effing great. And
it's just creepy, and
it's creepy and weird, but he plays it through the beginning. What is that? It's Catherine, isn't it?
Catherine Wheel, yeah.
So
I've played that one on the show.
Yeah.
Okay, Catherine Wheel was originally called something totally different. It's the only song that I ever changed, like almost completely changed. Everything else is organic and whatever it is, but it turned out to be great. But anyways, he's fucking playing his banjo thing, and I go, it's fucking perfect. We don't need anybody else to do this.
Yeah.
We don't need it. Do it. So he did it, and well, you listen to it. You could be the judge.
I will absolutely be listening
That's
to it.
banjo. He never even played banjo.
So trivia here for you is that song used to be called "Tastes Like Chicken."
So I thought at first, because I thought it was, I was like, that's stupid. It's that simple. So I was like, do you know what a Catherine wheel is?
No, I don't.
It's a medieval torture device.
Okay.
Okay. Tastes like chicken, medieval torture device.
Kenny Rogers.
They don't kind of match up, but
Exactly, but it works.
Right.
Well, listen to the song.
I will absolutely.
You got it now.
I do have it. Well, I actually have it in the library, but I don't now have it on a CD. I'll be able to. We will be listening to Grind Cat Grind on the drive home. You know that, right?
Oh, I know.
So did you guys drive here from Phoenix then?
We did.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it's a nice drive.
12 and a half hours.
From the Albuquerque route,
Yeah.
right?
And also, it's not 100 degrees today, so.
Right.
Yeah.
And the weather has been really nice since we've been here. We appreciate
Yes.
feeling like we're back home.
I put in a call. I tried to do my best for you, Larry.
You did a great
He
job.
talks to God a lot.
Even
Yeah,
you know
from
what?
that's
Even
me.
that
From the
even
weather
that
station.
rain that we had last night was kind of nice. Other than
The flooding.
that, there was that little bit of flooding and
That
Never
pesky
fun.
flooding.
Pesky flooding.
well, and I'm sitting looking at the roads and the flooding on the roads. Being from Washington, I'm like, oh, okay, not a big deal. But then thinking about Arizona and the poor Arizona drivers and some of the flooding that we were coming across last night would have shut Arizona down. No joke. People would have been inside, not leaving their homes for nothing.
If you were,
I wish they would hear, but they're idiots.
Yeah, they'll try it.
Got a 4x4, get out through that.
Yeah.
That's when you have conversations in the flood, because you're in it, and there's other people, and you're all going down a river.
I just look and go, I do have to admit, I'm not a rage driver, but I did look at some of the guys, some of the people driving yesterday and went, This is Colorado. I know y'all know how to drive in snow. What happened
No,
to
they
learning
don't.
how to drive in
no,
rain?
no,
Most of the people are implants, though, so they
Yeah,
don't
no,
know
no,
how
no,
to
no,
do
no,
it.
no, you're
man.
completely
Yeah.
wrong. So this is what's happened. Pot got legalized. That's it. So all these knuckleheads,
That's it.
fucking California,
And everywhere, Texas.
no, Texas,
Yeah.
but any place south, came here to get lots of pot. None of them can drive, and they fucking run into us that know how to drive, and then we have problems. And what's really funny about last night, you were here. Okay. How fun was that? Are people going like this all the time?
No, they were doing pretty good, but they were like slowing down way slower than is actually
Yeah,
necessary
because
for
they're
driving
not-
in the rain.
Because now in Colorado, not only can they not drive in the snow, they can't drive in rain.
No.
It's rain.
They can't
It's
drive.
rain. They can't drive at all.
I was driving down I-25 yesterday at this rainstorm, and there was 20 cars parked underneath the highways. You know, like the overpasses.
Oh,
you know,
my
the streets.
goodness.
So they're parked. We're on the freeway, and they're pulled over with their hazards on, and it's not even hailing. It's just rain.
Yeah, the hail,
It's
hail
like-
like big hail.
Well, hail is understandable
that's not what
because
was
that will
happening.
break
Yeah,
windshields.
yeah. So
So
these idiots are just parked underneath there on the highway, and I'm like,
I'm
Jesus
scared.
Fuck, you know, come on, guys.
Where's my mommy?
Yeah, so.
so how long have you been into the music?
And you know, as far as you know, just
In general, how long?
since I was 5 years old. So I was born in California and lived my first 10 years there, and literally, you know, I was in the back seat of my mom's car, you know, singing to the radio all the time, you know, with my brother telling me to shut up, and you know, me ignoring him. Because I'm in the back seat, you can't do much, you know. If you get to sit shotgun, I'm in the back seat, and I get the whole back seat, and I can do whatever I want. So I'm not shutting up.
Yeah,
You know,
you got shotgun, which means you kind of control the radio, but you can't control me singing to it.
Exactly, yeah. So, well, you got your mom though too. That's, you know, was an avid music listener. So that's where it all started for me, was just, you know, singing along to the radio constantly. I bought a guitar from my friend when I was 13, but I didn't really play it at all until I was 15, just because I didn't have any, you know, influential people around me to teach me. Because my other friends that were starting and playing, you know, were just kind of like, they were doing private lessons. I couldn't afford private lessons, you know, so I was just not doing much.
And the internet wasn't there.
Internet was not there.
No. And like the way he plays, he's such a it's he didn't, like, you got to put the needle on the record. You got to listen to it over and over again. It's not the internet. You can't do
No.
it over and over again. But the way he plays, the way Philo plays, is so awesome and interesting, because it's just so instinctual and so, like, I don't know, honest. is
Philo.
one way.
I
It's
call it
Philo.
I call it guttural. You
Yeah,
know, I'm more of a physical player. I'm not that guy who daintily dances and does these melodic, beautiful solos. You know, like a guy from Racer X, or
We've
you know,
got guys like that.
No,
in
no,
Phoenix.
like-
Cacophony. You know, yeah. You know, I'm not that Yngwie, Steve Vai guy. You know, I'm
Right.
more of a guy that's why I declare myself as a Les Paul abuser. Because
No, because like in the mattress always knows, and he literally bends his Les Paul.
Yeah,
Well,
the
tell
neck.
me if I'm wrong.
No, you're right. I bend
He
the
bends
neck.
the neck,
You know.
and he goes
A full step down.
That's exactly how it
where I
sounds.
bend the neck to create that
Why do
note.
we need
Oh
Philo?
God,
so-
that would.
I've told him that.
Oh, that would make me want to cry.
Especially on a classic 1978 Les Paul.
Yeah, he does this to killer guitars, but he does it and he means it, and that's
Have
the whole
you?
idea.
How many guitars have you killed?
No.
No, you know, I've only smashed a couple of guitars, you know, and that I think that was just kind of like the spur of the moment. Like the Les Paul that I currently play, quite a few years ago, I was headlining the Ogden Theater, which is about an 1,800 seat venue on Colfax that we used to headline and play. And I just, the last song, I just threw my guitar up in the air as high as I could and walked away. And this is a 78 custom Les Paul.
That's a whole new level of mic drop.
Yeah. So and everybody was just like, "Oh my God, that's your Les Paul," you know. But I just walked away, and my roadie ran out. You know, it hit the ground and it fell down. It didn't break anything except for a volume knob broke off and the jack broke off on the, from where the cord goes into, and I broke off one of the headstock tuning knobs. But the headstock itself is still in shape, except it's got a nice little chunk out of it.
Is that the same guitar you have now?
Yeah,
Wow.
the Cherry Burst. Yeah, so.
Wow.
But so that's seen a lot. I've kicked that guitar across the stage at the Ogden. Like sit there, I booted it across the stage. I mean, not that I didn't like the guitar. I put the guitar through the feelings that I was going through at that time. And it wasn't anger. It's just just fucking.
Well, I think there was some anger.
It's just it was aggressive music and aggressive crowd, and you're just like you're in the moment, and people go, they look at my guy, they're like, oh, it's a beautiful guitar. I'm like, look at it, really,
No,
and
seriously,
it's got broken
look at
binding,
this.
the binding's cracked on it. The jack plate is.
That's because he plays it.
Yeah, the
Well,
jack,
it's loved.
Yeah, it is. So.
It's the difference between a dime store cowboy and a real cowboy. Look at their boots.
Well, I've had
$100.
I've had that guitar 30 years, so it's the only guitar that I've kept, that long throughout my life. So
Yeah, it's that I again, to see that I would cry. I might actually walk up to you after watching that and ask you if your mama raised you right.
See, I'm going to do that now because, Les Pauls at that time too were more of a dime of a dozen. I paid $500 for that guitar. Now it's, a guitar, of that age in pristine conditions, a $5,000 guitar all day long.
Right.
I don't really know what mine's worth, and I don't care because it's not for sale, so it doesn't matter.
No, and it's got too many memories attached to put a price tag on it.
Yeah, I mean it's been covered with porn stickers and porno clips out of magazines when we went on tour. It's like you're getting bored on tour, so you just cut a bunch of little porn pictures and tape them to your guitar, and that's your show tonight. And then the next one is just covered in stickers, and then it's bare and all cleaned and polished. But I still have one of the fat devil girls, that's naked on the back of my guitar, one of those stickers, Yeah, if I can get another armor, please. Thanks.
Send us some more iced tea, please.
And so I mean, it's just a personalized guitar, and
so
Yes,
you're talking about touring. How many times, off the top of your head, how many times have you been on tour?
probably only 4, so very relatively small.
Okay, and how long were they?
Only 2 to 3 week tours. So we were all self-funded, an original Denver band, do a Midwest tour. So you start in Colorado and make your way Wyoming and Utah and go through Idaho and
New Mexico
New Mexico, Portland, Seattle,
LA.
Northern California, down to LA and in between.
But it was tough
Arizona.
because the '90s were weird when grunge came up, like a lot of the hard rock kind of stuff. Because grunge is different than what we do. Although we don't, tease our hair and do.
I still actually apologize for grunge. I know it had some good moments to it, but being from Seattle, I feel like I owe an apology for grunge.
No, Alice in Chains.
It has its
fantastic.
place.
My ex-husband actually went to high school with the 2 original members of Alice in Chains.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
But it was just a tough time for when timing is everything in the world. It doesn't matter what you're doing, whether it's relationships or whether it's music or anything.
Right.
Or your parents or anything. It's timing is everything. But it was just a more difficult time than it needed to be. And so it was just tough for a lot of people. And so touring was interesting. You go to places, but they were starved for something that was not just, grunge.
Right.
Which is, we're mopey and we're very upset. And we're
Rather
playing.
emo.
Yeah, it was a little too much of that. And it just got goofy. And it's just like, but it was tough because people are sheep. Or most people are sheep. And they just follow whatever
I was raised with that term sheeple.
Yeah.
I know what that means.
They
Radio.
understand. You understand exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So whether it was radio or the music industry, and they just followed along with whatever was going on, which is something that's different about Grind Cat Grind. We're not
Right.
following anything. We're following our passion and what we do. And you can like it or not like it, but you can't take away from what we do on stage and what we do in the studio, because we'll kill you. You can like it, you can not like it, but fuck you. This is how it works. You can just say,
That's